Welcome to the assignment called Produce Industry Overview Assignment. And there's a handout that you're going to download. Research the questions as best as you can online using the internet, using Google, Bing, Yahoo, whatever search engine you prefer. You're going to create a document in Microsoft Word or any other browser, or excuse me, not browser, any other word processing application you have, but save it as a Word file, a doc or docx file. You can also save as a PDF, an Adobe Portable Document Format, PDF file. Do not give me a Pages file from a Mac. I can't open those anymore. Do not try to just give me a link to a Google Docs file. If you have Google Docs, you just choose the file download option. If you're not sure how to do it, just Google search, how do I save my Google Docs as a Microsoft Word file? And there's videos out there to show you how to do it. It's pretty simple though. File, download, and then in the options of what to download, choose a docx Word file. But you're going to just type about a half a page on each area. So that's a 2-page minimum. And as you will either already know if you've taken classes from me, or as you will soon find out, minimums are only to satisfy the ability to do the assignment, that you did it. If you want a good grade, you're not going to do the minimum. So 2 pages on this would be a tremendous undershooting of what you should be able to find. I think you should be able to easily fill 3 or 4 pages or more even, depending on how much you find. So then you're going to save the file. Make sure you have your name, ABT96, and the date in the upper right-hand corner, single-spaced. Again, these kinds of details are important. It's a computer class as well as a math class, as well as an English class, as well as a vegetable crop production class. And as a computer class, you should learn how to align to the right, single space, double space, all of those things. The main body of your paper is double spaced, but I want your name, date, and ABT 96 single spaced in the upper right-hand corner. So what things are you going to research? Where did it go? There it is. Who are the major grower shippers? And I don't mean the salad businesses. Hint, hint, like Fresh Express. You're more than welcome to collaborate with other students in terms of finding the basic information and talking about these things. But you are responsible to type your own reports. I want it in your words, the things that you find out. And one of the things you're going to find is some of these things, which might seem on the surface to be very basic things. Who are the big companies around here in ag? It's a lot harder to find some of these things than you might think. So poke around, do your best, find what you can. If you can't find things, tell me what you can't find and tell me what you did find and what you didn't find. But who are the top 5 or 6 of the grower shippers in our area, and what are the brands that they use? Now, maybe you're familiar with a big old Foxy lettuce billboard over on Blanco near where it comes into Abbott there, right in front of the big Fresh Express plant. So if you're heading east on that last stretch, there's that Foxy lettuce. Well, that's a brand name. Who's the company? It's a different company. Fresh Express, well, their brand and their company have the same name. Not always the same. Sometimes the brand is different than the company name, or maybe they have several brands. So a company like Johnson and Johnson, they own not only the Johnson Johnson company, but the Johnson and Johnson brand and a whole bunch of other things. And I just bring that up as an example because you probably have all kinds of Johnson and Johnson things in your home, whether you know it or not. They do a lot of different shampoos and soaps and different toiletry items and other household goods. I'm not asking for Johnson and Johnson here. I'm just giving that as an example how the name of the company and their brands might not be the same. What are their product lines? What do they actually sell? Again, we're not talking about the salad businesses in this one. And what about the details of their operations? And once you find the name, you can start looking those details up. Uh, Number two, what about the fresh processors? This is where you would have Fresh Express, one of the salad companies. And there's more than that. Who is another really big one? I'm not going to give you another one, but who are the competitors? And there are really two huge ones right here in Salinas and one that's very, very close. So there are three that are easy to find, and you can probably find another couple that are also in the business. The third section, who are the major food service suppliers? And I'll give you the number one, kind of the 800-pound gorilla of the food service industry, everything from food service produce, but also food service everything else, uniforms, restaurant plates and glasses, and you name it. If it supplies restaurants and other food service uh, industry retailers, they are a wholesaler that will get that information to you. And don't mix it up with Cisco, the computer company, spelled differently. And who are the major retailers in this area and what are their brands? So the retailers, here I'm not going to be specific here. It could be food service retail. Most people, and when I wrote this, myself included, think about the retail sales outlets, which primarily are supermarket kinds of retailers and some of the other big box chains. But if you have a major um, retailer on the food service side that sells to the consumer, go ahead and put it. Now, again, I've got four different things. I'm asking for a minimum half page each, but if you have five different companies and you list all these things, there's no way it would take you at least a page for each of these sections to do a decent job. And that's only if you find some of the information, which you probably will only find some. You're not going to find everything. So, what are the things that were really hard to find, and what are the things that are easy to find? And it depends on the company. It depends on one, two, three, or four, which section you're dealing with. You can even do other things. How would you find this information out? Maybe get on the phone. I don't want to have anybody coming back and complaining to me because I sent a whole class to our local, uh, what are they called? The Chamber of Commerce of Salinas. But you could ask them. You could go to the Farm Bureau. You could go to the uh, Monterey County Agricultural Commissioner's office. Uh, you could even find one of them and just call somebody up and say, "Hey, I'm doing research for a class. Who are your big competitors? Who are your top three or four competitors?" And once you find one, uh, if you call them, you call Fresh Express and just say, "Hey, I'm doing some research for a class. Can you help me for 5 minutes here?" And you can probably find information out there just using your brain, a little initiative, and checking it out. Follow general resources more so than just Google it. There's more out there. So that's it for the assignment. Um, this is an exercise to find information and to format a document, to practice a little writing. How can you clearly give me back the information so it makes sense? Please organize it by one, two, three, four, and in some way within these four sections that the information is easy for me to see what you did. Don't just give me this one long blah, 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 uh, massive list of everything. I don't want that. I want you to explain what you find. Okay? So that is the produce industry overview assignment.